Good morning, friends. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever, wherever you guys from watching. Day 5. Thank you, all of you guys, for joining, celebrating International Men's Day, Voice of Men 360. So, what is Voice of Men 360? It is actually a platform. It's an organization based in Toronto, Canada. It's a non-profit organization. It is part of International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been here for more than 20 years. And last 20 years, around nearly 90 countries joined together and then taking initiatives on a regular basis. Let me go through the 6 pillars that International Men's Day follows. Number 1, to promote positive male role models, not just movie stars and sportsmen, but everyday working class men who are living decent and honest lives. Number 2, to celebrate men's positive contributions to society, community, family, marriage, childcare, and the environment. Number 3, to focus on men's health and well-being, social, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Number 4, to highlight discrimination against men in areas of social services, social attitudes, expectations, and law. Number 5, to improve gender relations and promote gender equality. Number 6, to create a safer, better world where people can be safe and grow to reach their full potential. These are the 6 pillars IMD follows. So we have a 1 week celebration from November 14th to November 19th. Today we are on the 5th day. So we have a couple of things, announcement I got to go through. We have an awesome lineup of speakers here. Thank you all of you guys once more. And tomorrow is a big day from 10 to 11 o'clock Canadian time, Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have another session with the speeches, and also 11 to 12 panel discussion. And of course, we have a regular talk show, Open Up, which is on Sundays, where an individual or any walk of life can come and share their life stories from 10 o'clock to 10:30, and also that in English, and also we have in Tamil 7:30 p.m. It is on Wednesdays, and we have a monthly webinar and a special discussion too on Saturdays from 10:30 to 11 o'clock. Of course, we are looking for volunteers and other professionals to work with. We have a special art competition related to this forum or International Men's Day celebration. Share your feelings and emotions through arts, drawings or paintings, music, songs, short films, poem, article, animation, photography, comics, fashion, performance. Deadline, of course, is a Sunday, December 20, 2020. Any other forms of that art you can think, yes, you can go ahead. And there are prizes. First prize is $250. Second prize is $175. Third prize is $100. And of course, we have a special supporters, sponsors, RCP, Right Choice Professionals. They are sponsoring the first prize. The second prize, Wood Gold, Sweda Kumar, she is the lawyer. And also third prize is Macmort Agostino, $100 they are sponsoring. Of course, there are some special art, the terms and conditions must have English subtitles. Music, songs, short film, animations, maximum 5 minutes. No age or gender limit to participate. You must send your name, phone number, email address, and your picture along with your submission. By entering into the competition, you agree that your picture and your creation will be shared on social media. Number 6, if it is group works, then you must submit all the participants' information along with your submission. Number 7, judges' decision are final. All right. So we have Very good, awesome presentation today. Lot of people they are sharing their messages last 4 days. Today we are on the fifth day, and we have this person. I should tell about 10-15 years back. I went to the library and then took the book, but that time I I don't have any idea about English or the language, so I put it back. I'm talking about Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill book. But after several years earlier, I went back and then I read the total book. So the old version and the new version, and also I have it, couple of them in our language, Tamil language too. So that's how I related, and somehow, somewhere, so whatever we are thinking or searching for, that also searching for us too. So here we go. A resident of Wise, Virginia, the birthplace of Napoleon Hill, Don Green brings nearly 45 years of banking, finance, and entrepreneurship experience to his role as executive director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. His first youthful business venture was charging admission to see his pet bear. Yes, the living, crawling kind. Since 2000, Green has traveled worldwide and used his finance skills to grow the foundation's funds to in order to continue the foundation's educational outreach. Green has both modeled leadership skills as a CEO and taught them through the PMA Science of Success course at the University of Virginia College at Wise. Don specializes in discussing his personal experiences in leadership and providing audiences with proven methods of applying Dr. Hill's success philosophy or to business. Choosing self-discipline to maintain excellent health. Don Green, Executive and Director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Don's, I'm really honored to have you here. Don Green. Here you go. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name's Don Green. I'm the CEO and Executive Director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And today, I would like to talk to you about having a healthy body and mind in order to be successful in life. I'm getting close to my 80th birthday, and one of the best success principles to use in order to stay healthy is self-discipline. Self-discipline simply means taking possession of one's mind. Self-discipline is our own responsibility, and no one can do that for us. One of the things I do regularly to stay healthy is walking. I have committed myself to walking at least 5 miles each day. Notice, I didn't say I was going to try to walk 5 miles each day. I said I am going to walk through those miles no matter. As the year is approaching to an end, I can only think of 2 days where I didn't walk 5 miles. The things we do on a daily basis, either good or bad, will quickly become habits, and those habits define who we become. Again, we can choose good or bad habits, but the choice is entirely up to us. Another example of practicing self-discipline comes from the food I purchase. If I'm looking at a package of food and it contains more than 10 grams of sugar, I simply put it back and don't buy it. I eat organic oatmeal every morning for breakfast with no added sugar. There is no processed sugar, soft drinks, or sweets in my house. I know that they are bad for my health, so I choose not to buy those things. Additionally, since I stopped eating excessive amount of sugar, I haven't had a cavity in my teeth in about 30 years. I do not eat fried foods. I only eat baked or grilled chicken or fish. I commit myself to several servings of vegetables per day. Again, notice I didn't say I'll try to eat those things. I am going to eat only those foods that are considered healthy. One way I do is I add a little sweetener to my life is by eating fruit. I usually eat about a cup of blueberries each morning for breakfast and an apple or two during the day. Self-discipline simply means controlling people to control themselves, and discipline is vital if one wants to be successful in any area, whether it be maintaining a healthy lifestyle or attaining material worth. Discipline basically comes down to how bad do you want it? In other words, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. Napoleon Hill wrote that without self-discipline, an individual may be likened to a dry leaf that is blown back and forth, round and round, by the stray winds of circumstances, where the slightest chance of coming within sight of anything that even remotely resembles success. As a final note, as I'm approaching my 80th birthday, I continue to work at my job every day. The word retire is not in my vocabulary. And why should it be? I think I have the best job in the world. I love what I do, and it's not really work to me. It's not hard to improve our health. It simply takes a little discipline. Our quality of life is much greater if we avoid tobacco and other things, drugs, excessive alcohol, and heavily processed foods. It's our responsibility to consistently do what we know we should do instead of taking the convenient and easy route. It's your responsibility to maintain self-discipline to live a good life. I wish you the best in all that you do. If you have any questions or anything else, I could keep talking all day. But if you'll get this one thing down, the self-discipline, it's saying, this is what I'm going to do. It's not I'm going to try to do. And I put the things down in writing till they become a part of me. It's like a contract with ourselves. A dream is just a dream. It's a goal when it's written down. And I put reminders of this is what I'm going to do. And I have them on my desk. I was a bank president for going on 20 years at a rather early age, working myself up from $1.15 an hour to the position I hold today. And I'm able to help 60 some kids go to college. And it's a good life. But the thing of taking care of our body and our mind is our sole responsibility. People who cannot discipline themselves end up with bad health problems or in prison, where they're not only disciplined, they're told when they can go out and exercise, what they're going to eat, when they're going to eat, when the lights go out. One simple thing they never attained in their life. They never learned to discipline themselves. And they end up being disciplined till they serve their time, whether it be 2 years or 5 or a lifetime, for one simple reason. They did not have discipline in their life, and they paid the consequences of it. And it's that simple. We can make all excuses we want to, but I tell people it's having problems. If you want to know what your problem is, walk into a bathroom where it's got a good mirror and simply look in the mirror and say, if it is going to be, it's up to me. And the day that we start making excuses, that's the day we start on the road to failure. We can make all excuses in the world, but all of them add up to like going out on your front porch, sitting in a rocking chair. It may take up your time, but it won't take you nowhere that you want to go. And excuses are worthless, and it's easy to make. You can blame circumstances, your parents, where you was born, everything you can imagine. But when you accept responsibility for yourself, you're off to a good start, and quit making excuses. And when things don't go right, simply accept them as a lesson learned, and you're not going to repeat it the next time. And it takes some time, but it really did a fundraiser with Zig Ziglar one time, and he said all it comes down to how bad do you want it. I told the students that I taught this material 12 times as a night course when I was a bank president, and I told them that to look at your calendar and look for someday. Someday I'm going to go on a diet. Someday I'm going to watch what I eat. Someday I'm going to give up tobacco. First of the year I'm going to quit drinking excessive and so forth. Someday's not on the counter, and that's a lie we tell ourselves. There is no such thing as someday. It's if we're going to do something, it starts today. It starts this minute. And promising ourselves that we're going to do something other is simply a lie we tell ourselves, and we keep telling it over and over again. And Napoleon Hill would say, don't tell people what you're going to do. Just go show them. I thank you for listening. Consider it a pleasure to participate in this, and I know you got many people lined up, and I will try to listen to some of them. But I know I'm reminded I do have a full schedule today. But thank you very much for listening, and I'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. It is for me. For me, it is actually whatever you are saying, Don. Whatever is coming from your mouth is actually I can listen. I can imagine that is actually the Napoleon Hill is saying, because that's how I much admire him, and then I take it deeply. Of course, yes, you will. Well said. Well said. All right. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. It is a great honor because it's not easy, and I really appreciate that. Next, we have distinguished Toastmaster YLP Chair, Toastmasters.
Hello. Hello, Shivam. Can I start? Hello, everyone. This is, am I live, Shivam? Hello, Shivam. Am I live? Hello, everyone. This is Azhar Khan. It's an honor and privilege today to speak on Man's 360, Voice of Man 360 platform. So today, my topic is understanding your communication style. Communication is a two-way process for reaching mutual understanding through verbal and non-verbal and written messages. Communication style is defined as the way in which individuals interact with one another and messages they send, intentionally or not, through their behaviors. Determining your communication style can help you improve how you share information with others. Learning how to effectively communicate with styles different from your own uh, will enable you to establish effective relationship and create better understanding. So today I want to go with more detail about communication, and I want to share the presentation. Oh, share the screen. So basically, I want to share the understanding your communication style. So most people will find they produce a score in multiple categories. Each communication has value and there is no best overall style. Having higher score in one communication style indicates you are comfortable using the style. You are comfortable using is no best style. Having a score in one communication style indicates you are comfortable using that style in many situations, but it is not usually what you choose in all communication. The goal of understanding your communication style preferences is communicate with others in a way that comfortable and effective. So the first communication style I want to talk today is about direct communication. So what is direct communication? Direct communication prefer when you get to the point quickly and in a certain manner. When dealing with these communicators, the specific and avoid over explaining or repeating yourself. Focus on solutions and only provide details when asked. For example, this style is decisive, competitive, independent, and confident because the person with a direct communication style is focused, result oriented, ambitious, goal oriented, and driven. Others may perceive her or him as strong willed and demanding. He or she can be impatient when bored. She or he likes to feel in control and may become frustrated if dependent on others. They measures progress by achievement and successes is motivated by challenges. At work, they display more concerns for results than relationships and does not easily share feelings. Their pace is fast and decisive, and they like a busy, efficient structure and formal environment. So this is we talk about the direct communicators. Now we talk about initiating communicators. So in initiating communicators, value interactive with others and sharing stories. Allow time for socializing in the beginning of the meeting. Create friendly non-threatening environment provide time for them to express their feelings and opinions. For example, this style is sociable, enthusiastic, spontaneous, and fun-loving due to uh, nature of the person with the initiating communication style. He or she may be perceived and someone who tasks more listen. They often perceive as self-assured, innovative, and persuasive. They like feel accepted and is motivated the relationship. They respond strongly to praise and approval. Um, their pace is fast and may appear impulsive at times. They prefer a stimulating, personal, and friendly work environment. So this is about initiating communicators. Now we have third type of communicators. We call it supportive communicators. Supportive communicators appreciate a calm, steady approach, earn their trust by providing them with plenty of reassurance when seeking their opinions and ideas. Encourage them to express their concerns and allow them time to make a decision. For example, in some supportive communicators, this style is calm, steady, approachable, sincere, and gentle. Because the person with supportive communication style dislike change, they may appear indecisive. More often, they perceive a careful, patient, and amiable approach. Due to the active listening skills, others sees as corporate, dependable, and loyal. They are often modest and prefers praise be given privately. Patient and slow paced, they like the personal, relaxed, no tension environment. They put high priority on close relationship and does not like conflict. They may mediate if necessary. Now we come to the fourth approach, which is analytic communicators. So, analytic communicators like fact and figures. Present information to them is organized manner and prepare to answer questions. Be patient while they think through the process new information. Analytic communicators' style is precise, exact, analytical, and logical. Because the person with an analytic communication style is systematic and task oriented, they are sometimes perceived a perfectionist. And he is or she, they are organized, self reliant, purposeful, and diplomatic. They are motivated by certainty and will rarely give an opinion unless asked. Slow and cautious, the pace like a structured, ordered, and functional environment. Because they need to feel sure of this position and others' expectation, they are often private with personal information and does not like easily expressed. Effective communication use of communication style, basically it is important to reorganize how effective communication can impact your interaction with others. It can be lead higher efficient and good morale in the workplace, in increase innovation, creative potential in groups, and satisfactory personal and familiar relationship. These four type of relationship are very very important when you are working on different styles of communication. Overall, in communication, the most important thing that you know your audience, you know your topic before you start speaking with them. The most important then your communication should be simple and understandable. That is the main object. But all other factors like your language, your body language, your eye contact is also impact on communication skills. However, there are many places where you can enhance your communication skill. One of the main organization which I'm part of since many years is Toastmasters International, where not only you can enhance your communication skills, we have many different way to enhance, like prepared speeches, impromptu speaking. The best part, each and every time you deliver the speech, you have the evaluation part of your speeches. So I hope that my today's topic regarding understanding your communication styles, which have direct communication, initiating communicators, supportive communicators, or analytic communicators, help you for your next project, for your next business meeting, for your next networking, to understand the personality. Because if you understand the communicator or communication style, it will help you to convey your message effectively. This is Azhar Khan, Distinguished Toastmaster, Youth Leadership Program Chair, and Community Activist. I would like to congratulate Shivam and Voice of 360 to celebrate this celebration and bring a wonderful speakers on their platform. Here, I would like to open the forum for any question and answer related to the communication.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Azhar. It's a really, of course, communication is the key for everything. It doesn't matter either workplace or at home or anywhere in the part of the world. So any part of the life too. So I really appreciate that. So let's move on to next speaker, Mr. Alan. Alan Millard has been involved as a prominent men's equality advocate for several decades, beginning in the early 80s. He began writing his first book, Equality, A Man's Claim, in the spring of 1983. He has been thereafter continually affiliated with the major men's rights organizations and has contributed many articles, radio, and some television broadcasts. His work includes research conducted through his graduate and doctoral coursework and knowledge acquired through his independent studies and colleague associations as a university professor. He headed the group Men and Fathers for Justice, which still exists in virtual form through Facebook, where he also heads the group Men's Equality. He is the author of 3 books addressing men's equality concerns. His most recent book, A Flaw from Within, How Women's Higher Status Defies Equal Justice, Violates Men and Destroys Society, is available through Amazon. A male is to have an existence defined in his own right. Alan Millard, Men's Equality Advocate. Welcome, Alan. Thank you.
And I'll just move right on here and go over a lot of concepts and in very important premises upon which the current status of men and boys is dependent. I'll move right along in my tribute to International Men's Day 2020. We have a past regarding males that sets the stage for their less than equal status and value to females. Chivalry and placing women on a pedestal above men attests to this. As males are considered of lesser value and status to females, they are groomed from boyhood to serve women as a part of their prescribed manhood, with no regard for themselves at all. In fact, any type of exposed refusal to accept these roles are are met with man up, take it like a man and act like a man. You've got to be something that is outside of yourself to conform. And these are all common expressions of their discounted existence and of the shaming techniques to keep them there. These are small-minded, sex bigots, men, and many women who have yet to develop in their own right. The mating process also attests to this discrepancy, with females being the sex sought more than males. Although providing a constant barometer, the lesser value attributed to males begins before this. A male is not considered or sought out for his own sake. Being designed the lesser of the two, he's groomed to seek out and prove himself to the female. He is at this point already assigned a lesser status with something to make up for, merely being born a male. This design is where the problem originates outside of himself, no less than if he were of a racial inferiority. These assigned roles, incongruities, are further built upon to criminalize males per noncompliance, sexual assault, harassment, all at the female's discretion. A male must be seen as an equal human being to a female, rather than something to which archaic scripts are attached to him as to act out some default computer program. This includes applying accountabilities without rights nor considerations, with neither script considering him to be a real person, equal in status and value to the female. No allocations are incorporated to consider his unique differences from females, but instead condemn those differences. For example, sex drive, his expressions. Not only a boy's interest, but who he is as a person needs to be put into the equation, with him existing in his own right. Once accepted by others as well as by himself, a self-discount, the program process that will need to be instilled as well, will the standard become accepted and applied. No prior script will be allowed to determine violence and abuse to be acceptable to him any more than to his female counterpart. His basic identity will come from him, not from a servitude and self-discount to others. Religious sources often provide the same misandric scripts that will haunt males no less than does feminism. Males are not to have less than equal protection to women either. No rating of one male above another per the alpha beta superior inferior categorization is to exist either. That's merely an excuse for bullying and forced conformity. Males have to be rated equal to each other before they can be rated equal to females. This is something very much to keep in mind. The old and new versions of misandry have been implemented through the evaluation of women, chivalry, the elevation of women, chivalry, upon which premise feminism is built. Yet, why has it not been equally feared and opposed? Because it is transmitted through women with no antibodies due to chivalry and culturalized female superiorrating ruling society. Let's begin from what is an equal point in the creation of human life, conception and the forming of a human embryo. Both sexes at a certain point start out as equals. So what changes that status? At what point is this tiny creation determined to be less worthy as a human being, aside from special stipulations and uses being applied? What makes this one different is that it is destined to become a human male, but the differences are only acknowledged for negative sake rather than equal acceptance. This is the problem created per difference rather than equal but different. The premise upon equality of men and women is that they are equal but different. Little does the male know how he is naturally created will determine his fate per an outside environment, deeming him a status at present less personally and individually significant than a household pet. Many with more rights, consideration, and empathy applied to them than to men. What is commonly considered humorous abuse and humiliation towards men is completely unacceptable towards our pets. Males are groomed from boyhood by their mothers, and other men also groomed from their boyhood by their mothers to serve women as a part of their defined manhood. This male designated discount comes to light immediately after boy is born. He is not adequate, even dirty, due to the way God, Mother Nature, ironically, created him and this is soon demonstrated after he emerges from his mother's womb, when his intimacy is immediately severed to accommodate a female and religious preference through circumcision. This alone could have altering, desensitizing effects on his mental development. More studies need to be done on this, but some that have been done do conclude this result. As he develops into a boy, he soon realizes that he is treated different from his sisters in other ways too. He experiences a conditional love, in which case he is designated for use, such as a utility, who must earn affections to be deserving of any. He finds, in contrast, that the love provided to his sisters is unconditional. They receive a true and genuine love for who they are as persons and individuals. They are, in fact, pampered and given attention at a whim. Note, men are often told they do not know what love is. Could this be why? Or being deprived of something may mean just the opposite, in that men who yearn for something may have a more sincere and genuine appreciation and expression of love than those who are spoiled and take what they have been given for granted. In fact, use love to get what they want through privilege and entitlement as little princesses. This assigned identity is something a male is groomed to take pride in, as he is sculpted to become what others have deemed a man. Unless he accepts his identity, he is branded a boy and irresponsible, inadequate, or not qualified to even be a man, and therefore undeserving of life's simple pleasures or even his basic needs. His assigned position of accountability requires that he takes blame for everything and even places him in, conveniently as a scapegoat and mere figurehead to take blame. The utility and disposable assignment of his own existence is evident throughout his life, with its next level of servitude accommodating at the young age of 18, when he is required to register for military service or be subjected to humiliation, threat, and criminal punishment. During this time period, he is also to prove himself worthy to his superior female counterpart, who is spoiled and pampered, placed above him in the mating process. Once he proves himself as a worthy utility, he must continue to do so. Hence, happy wife, happy life. As he is cast as a reliable slave, he retains this status after separation through divorce, settlement, paying alimony, and child support. And even after his death, as to whether he left her well off or financially destitute. This process, unless he complies with the female's court's wishes, also subjects him to criminal liability. Again, little recognition is provided to him as an individual or someone with any personal value. At the discretion of a woman who has an automatic superiority status granted by law in the courts, a man is forced to have a child and pay child support, sometimes even if he is not the biological father. Per court order, as a father has no reproductive rights compared to the mother. He is once again potentially criminalized if he fails to provide finances due to his child purposely deprived the father being used as a human token to do so. A man will also be criminalized through his sexuality at the female's discretion for enacting his natural part in the sexual mating process per law and by many other males who blindly serve women and within a prejudiced and discriminatory government system. Even if he chooses to be a father, he is exempt from being considered a part of the family, not only through the family courts, but through government subsidies, funding, and support programs designating a family to be only women and children. For example, WIC, Women's, Infants, and Children, ironically, from which the children will soon be cast when they no longer can be used as tokens to extort financial resources from their fathers. Also, through these government programs, fathers are not allowed in the household. Otherwise, single women with children will be disqualified from receiving government funding, subsidized housing. Also note, men and fathers and their infants and children are not even recognized through these discriminatory and unconstitutional references, programs, and associated practices. So how can something, the Constitution, freedom, and the family itself, upon which a country is built, be so easily discarded? Is this not a form of treason? What do soldiers fight for and military might even mean if this unopposed attack on our freedom and a violation of our basic civil rights is allowed from within? We need not look too closely to perceive the pain and extreme violations of men, although most people are not adequately perceptive. In fact, very callous to the injustices being openly applied to men. This can be achieved through human compassion and merely caring about the truth, which is needed to make an impact. Few competent news and media sources exist to ensure this, but instead continue to promote misandry, robbing men of equal empathy and consideration to women. In conclusion, this boy we're talking about in general is now a man upon being robbed of his personal and financial assets, which he's worked hard to secure. He now looks back on his life. He sees what others cannot or do not care enough to see and realizes that his existence, for which he has been sculpted from birth, with a defined identity for which to pride himself has been a sham. He has been deprived of an existence defined in his own right. In his memory, he is, more often than not, referred to as someone who wasn't there for his children and or wife when he had been court-ordered to be separated from them, and or he has had worked a dangerous job with long hours as a worthy slave does, or died in such performance. He is blamed even after his death for failing to be an adequate utility. He left a wife and 3 kids with little personal attachment or individual value attributed to existence, let alone deemed a status deserving of an existence defined in his own right. This destiny will only change if we see men in a different light, one attached to a unique quality and personage, attached to males as individual human beings deserving of a quality of life equal to a woman's. I know I went a little long, but hopefully not too much.
It's okay. We should have this kind of discussion or the information. Absolutely right. I was thinking it is not. It's not about the culture or anything. It's I see the pattern in many culture, not only generally speaking one specific culture, but also a number of cultures around the world. It's very
I mean,
true, very true.
I don't believe that it's negative to acknowledge the negative. In fact, the negative has to be addressed, acknowledged and addressed to have a positive outcome. And that's how I look at this, because we can't ignore it. We got to get to the core problem, address it, and try to cure it, to make it better. One thing I wanted to mention too is the one copy I sent to you didn't get spell checked, so there were some mistakes, and I can send you a better a spell check copy.
That's okay. No, it's a really we need to have this kind of discussion, because always says when people hear about Voice of Men 360, some part of the world or some people, they may think, oh, this is against women, or we're going to have
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
some kind of activities against a woman. No, this is not about against women or disregard or disrespect their equality.
Well, why they do that is because it's projection. It's accusing someone else of what you're guilty of, so they can actually blame you without them taking the accountability that's due to them. And this allows more violation of those who are being falsely accused, in this case, men.
Sure. All right. Thank you. Really appreciate, Alan, the work you did, also for coming and having the speech here, though. The next speaker, we have a lady to fill the gap,
Thank you.
Thank you. Dilani Balasubramaniam is a Tamil Canadian woman who is working part-time for the organization for Canadian Tamils with disabilities as a COVID-19 special needs adaptation project manager. In her full-time work, she is a provincial youth outreach worker, working especially with at-risk Tamil youth and their families. She is also a creative portrait photographer and traditional yoga teacher. She is very passionate about helping young people move forward and preventing problematic behaviors by working with their families and connecting them to all the resources available to them. Dilani is also knowledgeable about the struggles and challenges faced by the Tamil Canadian community, both by the younger and older generation. She sees herself as a bridge to connect to powerful populations, boys and men with disabilities, challenges faced, and available support. Dilani Balasubramaniam. Welcome, Dilani.
Hi, Sivam. Thank you for having me here, and hello to everybody joining in. So as he mentioned, my name is Dilani Balasubramaniam, and I'm here on behalf of the Organization for Canadian Tamils with Disabilities. And today I'm going to talk to you about boys and men with disabilities and what are some of the challenges they face and how an organization like ours can support this population. So I'm going to start off my presentation by first saying that I don't identify as a man. I identify as a woman, and I go by the pronouns she and her. So I don't know what it feels like to be a man, and I don't know what it feels like to be a man living with a disability, so I can't speak for them. But what I'm going to share is based on my research and my personal and professional experience working with this particular population. So when we talk about the experiences of any individual, it's important to talk about the intersectionality of our identities. So it's not just that you're a man, but also how does that combine with your experience of being your particular race, your ethnicity, your age, your class, your status, and your sexuality. And when it comes to, disability, it's not just that someone has a disability. It's not some generic concept, right? There's so many different types of disabilities. There can be physical disabilities, cognitive, visual, auditory, psychological, neurological. These are just to mention a few. And someone's experience with disability can also differ based on the age of onset. So were you born with this disability, or did it happen suddenly later into adulthood? And how severe is your disability? And finally, like, what about the visibility of somebody's disability? So if you see somebody with like a broken leg or arm, that's something you can see right away. But what about someone who looks completely fine and they sound fine to you, but they're dealing with, say, a learning disability or autism, they have ADHD, that type of experience is completely different. And also, often in our society, the expectations of men are based on able-bodied norms. So someone without a disability, this kind of sets the standard for what a man is supposed to be. And masculinity is also often defined by characteristics such as being independent, powerful, dominant, and assertive in order to perform roles associated with men, whereas disability is often associated with being dependent. And so this is where masculinity becomes even more toxic than it is, because men are not just taught not to cry, but also not to ask for help. And factors like these can lead to higher rates of depression and suicide. And not only that, but we also see higher cases of disabilities, specifically learning disabilities in boys and men. And like I mentioned earlier, the intersections of our identities are important. And in my work, working with Tamil men with disabilities, the cultural barriers are very significant too. So Tamil men are expected to be the breadwinners of the family and the heads of the household, taking on the burden not only for their spouses and children, but also their siblings and elderly parents. And coming to terms with their own emotions and voicing their feelings about their challenges isn't encouraged or even fostered from a young age. And like many other cultures, boys are just taught to suck it up and carry on being strong. So when a boy or a man is identified as having a disability, the stigma associated with that leads to many families treating this individual like they're less than others, discriminating them, and then keeping them like hidden away or kept away from family gatherings, special events. It's almost as if they just exist in the background, but the pressure to live up to society's expectations of a man still remains. And this is where like an organization like ours comes in to support these people, because we offer support groups that emphasize the importance of sharing your feelings, and by hosting various workshops and gatherings, it's an opportunity to develop friendships and trusting bonds and engaging with others. We offer ABA therapy, speech therapy, specific therapies for disabilities, but also from like a holistic point of view too. So we offer yoga and mindfulness. And now with COVID-19, we've like moved to like the digital realm, offering things on Zoom. And we also have a hotline. The phone number is 416-293-9499. And you can call this phone number to receive information about, what sort of funding supports are available for me and my family. Maybe you just need somebody to talk to, or maybe like we even offer like PPE supplies, and we can come and drop it off to you. So I just want to finish off by saying that the onus shouldn't have to be on each individual man with a disability to receive support or even compassion and empathy. We hear the word self-care and self-love thrown around a lot, but I think it's equally valuable to value community care and community love, and that we should take some responsibility to understand what it's like to live in other bodies and treat boys and men with disabilities with dignity and respect. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you so much. Oh, I can't hear you because you're muted.
No, I was saying it's a really awesome presentation. I would say more than a presentation, because you actually put in nice word that especially our Tamil men in our community. They are struggling, especially with a lot of disabilities or cross disabilities too. Personally, I know this organization. I am part of it, so I met a lot of people. So they are serving more than 20 years. I would say like more than 23 years this year. So it's wonderful. They can provide a lot of services. Yeah. So whoever is listening, at least you can share this message with other people. So whoever is especially during this time, last number of months, and then at least you can get some help from them. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Really,
Appreciate what you said. Very valuable.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Right. Thank you, Delaney, one more time. Appreciate it. And let's move to next speaker. Before I bring him on, Salman, are you there? Salman? All right. All right. 1 second, brother. So how we can, you can contact us 647-424-2251, info@voiceofmen360.org, or you can still visit our website, voiceofmen360.org. We are on social media, Facebook group page. We have a YouTube. Please subscribe. And Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all over the place. Yes, you can see. And please follow us. And our next speaker, youth. Why youth leadership program is important in today's world. Salman Khan is a third-year engineering student at Ontario Tech University, and is also studying IT and network security. He is currently working with A1 Hub at Durham College to study cybersecurity. He's also a youth motivational speaker from the Youth Leadership Program, helping as many youths as he can to reach their maximum potential. Why Youth Leadership Program is important in today's world. Salman Khan, let's take it away.
Okay. So how is the Youth Leadership Program beneficial for today's world? Good morning, Voice of 360, Sivam, and distinguished guests. It's a great honor to be here today. Thank you for inviting me. So first of all, what is the Youth Leadership Program? So the Youth Leadership Program is about communication and leadership. So being able to clearly express your thoughts to others so that they are heard and understood. It is a very important skill to have in today's world, and I'll break that down for you into a couple of steps. So basically, firstly, there are 3 important qualities every leader has, or in order for you to excel in any type of career or in any type of field, you have to have these 3 qualities, which are taught in the Youth Leadership Program. So number 1 is respect. Number 2 is responsibility. And number 3 is reliability. So first on, I'll talk about respect. So respecting is way bigger than the word itself. So basically what it means is when someone's talking or when someone's saying something, right, you want to give them that respect and you want to listen to them and you want to, basically you want them to be heard and understood. Second thing is responsibility. So in many organizations today or in schools, universities, and etc., you have a responsibility of looking after yourself, getting things done, doing things, doing the tasks you're given. So that's a very important factor. Number 3 is reliability. So in terms of when you get into that step of being in university or being in an organization, a lot of people rely on you to get a certain things done. So that's where reliability comes into play. And basically reliability is a great factor of every great leader because others can rely on you to get a job done on a certain amount of time. But you put all these things together and you look at all leaders today, you look at Nelson Mandela, you look at like multiple leaders, you look at Barack Obama, they all have one thing in common. It is these 3 qualities, and together they make integrity. So the things I learned in the Youth Leadership Program that helped me speak, number 1 is public speaking. Now, you may not really think about public speaking as being a huge thing. You might not even think about it at all. But the average person speaks at the age of 40. Now, in today's world, most people would die than to public speak. That's how much of a fear people have from public speaking. Now, what you want to do is we learn in the youth leadership program things like to engage the audience, ask some questions, capture their attention. And basically, many people don't get to public speak until they're the age of 40, right? So basically, when they get at that age of 40, they don't know what to do because they weren't prepared for it, right? They've never done it before. So that's one of the great things that the youth leadership program does is it allows you to unlock that potential at such a young age. So the second thing is voice. So you have different levels of controlling your voice. So if you're talking about something strong, you want to be more firm and you want to be more strict on it. Or if you're talking about some kind of expression, you want to be louder. So how to express your voice so that the audience still listens to you and still has that control. Now, number 3, this is perhaps one of the most important things about public speaking, and it is body language. So 60% of your body language is what makes up public speaking. So you can be speaking about multiple things, but body language is what puts it together and what makes it so great. Using hand gestures, using communication, using props, all of those things put together is 60% of your body language. So the other thing we also learn is how to present PowerPoint slides or such softwares like PowerPoint. So what happens today is many youths or many adults, when they go into their adulthood, when they go into universities, they have to do a presentation of some sort, right? And most likely they'll use softwares like PowerPoint. So what ends up happening is they don't know how to use it effectively. What they'll do is they'll put a bunch of words on there, a bunch of pictures on there, and then they'll just talk about that. But basically what you want as a speaker is you want the audience attention on you. You don't want it on the slide, right? You don't want them reading off the slide. So we teach things like maybe you can just put some kind of picture on there. You can put some kind of video of explaining what you're talking about. But you, being the main hold, is the speaker that captures the audience. You talk about that. So another thing is table topics. And this is probably one of my favorite things about the youth leadership program. And basically what table topics does is, so you go up and they give you a topic. So they'll give you a topic, they'll give you a picture, they'll give you something like that. And you only have 1 minute to talk about that. And you're not prepared for it. They'll give it to you. You don't know what you're going to get. So you might be wondering, when will I need this? Or like, what can this help me with? The thing is, a lot of great leaders or politicians or such people, they can think on their feet. And this is what table topic allows you to do. Let's say you're in an elevator, right? You're going up and you're with some business person. You see your boss beside you and you want to deliver a message effectively so that you are heard and understood properly, right? So that's something table topic is really great at. The other thing is teamwork. So in youth leadership program, we have multiple teams. So we have teams to win gold, silver, medal, bronze awards. So multiple time what will happen is, as a youth leadership coordinator, we'll see all these groups. And the thing is, people or these youths realize that it can't always be about you. So you can't always win. Sometimes you need a team to work together and then win. So you can't always win alone, but perhaps if you work with other people, you can achieve way farther greater things. And lastly, the feedback you get by professionals in this program is perhaps one of the most amazing and wonderful things you can get as a youth. So you have all these professionals that have been public speaking for 20, 30, 40 years in these great organizations or and et cetera, things like that. And they give you feedback and they tell you where to improve upon on. So basically what happens multiple times is when you're public speaking, you might not know where you're going wrong. But when someone gives you a feedback, especially someone that powerful and someone that has that background of public speaking, it really helps you improve. So finally, the youth leadership program is unlimited potential and can unlock the youth's true potential. It's kind of like getting a diamond and then you shine up that diamond and then you bring out its true value. So imagine now taking that diamond and having that time into youth and excelling all those skills in the age of like 12 to 18. So what can they achieve, right? It's limitless. So thank you, Men360. Thank you, Sevam, for inviting me and talking on this great platform. And thank you. You're muted, Sevam.
Sorry. Thank you, Salman. Respect voice, body language, preparation, presentation, table topics, teamwork, feedback. Of course, these are the main things at Toastmaster Youth Leadership Program. And I want to tell you something that, it's not only that the youth leadership program keeps, bring out from an individual, though, because there are so many individuals right now. They are going through so many challenges, especially during this time. So if they know this platform, or if you know some kind of leadership program, or if they can enroll into some kind of youth programs, and then their life can change in differently. Totally agree, brother. Totally agree. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And then, we have a special art competition going on. Share your feelings and emotions through art, drawings or paintings, music, songs, short film, poem, articles, or animations. Anything you can. Photography, comics, fashion, performance, anything. Deadline is, of course, December 20th, 2020. And the first prize is $250 RCP, Right Choice Professionals. And second prize is $175, is a boot called LLP, Sweta Kumar. And third prize is Mahmoud Agostino Mortgage, and they are also giving $500 gift with purchase, mortgage, or refinancing. So the third prize is $100, and the website their supporter is DF Credit Solution. So the terms and condition actually must have English subtitles, music, songs, short film, animation, maximum 5 minutes. No age or gender limit to participate. You must send your name, phone number, email addresses, and your pictures along with your submission. By entering into the competition, you agree that your picture and your creation will be shared on social media. If it is a group, works, then you must submit all the participants' information along with your submission. Judges' decision are final. Friends, we have a special show today evening about the impacts of addictions, gambling, substance use, or gaming addictions. Young lady is going to talk about that, discussing on that topic. In Tamil community along, about 25-30 people within the last 3 months passed away, or they lost their lives. So please be aware of that and pass this message, share with other people. So whoever can listen or get some information and help somebody, we can save some lives. And we have a shows, live talk show, Open Up. It is on Sundays at 10 a.m. and in English, and also it is in Tamil on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and monthly webinars, and it's a special discussion Saturdays at 10:30 to 11 o'clock. We are looking for volunteers, and of course working with other professional community organizations, NGOs, social service workers, trainers, coaches, mentors, health professionals. Please reach out to us, and here's the number: 647-424-2251. 647-424-2251. Info at voiceofmen360.org, or you can visit our website www.voiceofmen360.org. We are on Facebook. You can find us a group or a page. YouTube, please subscribe our YouTube channel, Voice of Men 360. Instagram, yes, you can find the Voice of Men 360. Twitter, LinkedIn, we are everywhere. So this is today's day 5, the celebration, a week-long celebration of International Men's Day. It is actually part of our organization. So we are celebrating that, and tomorrow we're going to have a very big day. We're going to have a 2-hour event from 10 to 11. The first hour going to have speeches, and the second hour from 11 to 12, we're going to have a panel discussion. So please join and enjoy. All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.